What's up, y'all? Welcome back to B Mac and Yachty. I'm B Mac. My beautiful queen right here.
Yachty.
Oh, don't you start that.
Yachty.
Oh,
what?
you had nail polish on your cheek.
I don't have nail.
You did. Where'd it go?
You've been artistic now.
No.
It's not funny.
It is. It's
No,
hilarious.
it's not.
All right. Yeah, here it is. See? Look at that, y'all.
Nope, he lying.
Look at that. What's that right there?
That's a dot. He grew a little white speck on top.
And then look at her finger. Look. Bring that finger to the scene.
Nah, my nails are so ugly.
Yeah. She up there scratching them off, and she scratched it off and it got on her face.
No, you did that.
Told y'all. But yeah, welcome back to our channel. We miss y'all. You know, how y'all been doing? We doing good. You know, got some things. We've been busy. We're doing a story time of the first time she laid eyes on the boy. You know.
Well, you did first.
You know,
I didn't see you first.
She laid eyes on me.
You
So-
did first. I was second.
Yeah, because I saw you when I pulled up. But it all goes back, you know, to 2008. You know, it was the year started off. Let me see. It started off all right. It was kind of, you know, a little rocky here and there. But you know, we was all like me and her. We met online. So we met online back in 2005, and then you know we got to talking over the time, and you know, then I flew 2007. I flew to Ohio, and I was working, and I was like, okay, you know, she lives in Jersey. You know, I'm in Ohio right now, so I'm like, all I gotta do, save up my money, you know, and then go see her. I get a hotel room and go see her. So, what was it about? What? September.
I was at school.
What was it? September?
Yeah.
Yeah, about
Yeah,
September.
because you didn't move down there to like the following month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, September of 2008. I was like, okay, I was working at this homeless shelter, and when I first started, they was like, oh, you know, this was my day of orientation, so I was like, you know, okay, cool, you know, I'm working, and I was like, all right, I'll see y'all on Thursday. They was like, wait a minute, can you start tonight? And it was like, you can work every day, you know, without a day off for this whole month. So I'm like, cool, my check gonna be large. I'm gonna be, you know, I was like, with that money, I'll be able to see her, plus be able to stay in a hotel longer. So I worked every day because it was night shift. They needed me for night shift. So I was like, I ain't had no kids at the time. It was just me. So I worked every night. No call-offs, nothing. Saved up my money. And then this was August. And then when September came around, I was getting ready to get my first check. So I called her and I was like, yo, when I get my check.
You said, yo.
Yeah, I did. I was like, when I get my check. That's how I used to talk when I was like, yo, when I get my check, I'm gonna come see you. But this was the night before I was telling you that. And I didn't know it was gonna rain. So
Well, the first time was when I was in French class. You told me you was gonna go, and then you canceled.
that was because I was working at the airport and they messed up everybody's check that day. I'm talking about the line was long. It was like everybody was waiting for chicken sandwiches at Popeyes or Chick-fil-A. It was that bad. People was cussing out managers like, yo, I got about 6-7 miles to feed. Like where my check at? Like everybody that day, everybody got paid $100. That's what it said on your check. Cause I remember when I got in there, it was just it was like 3 of us, and it was like, how much you got paid? I was like, $150. I said, I did so much overtime. I was like, what the hell is going on? And so we waiting in line, waiting for the people to come out. After that, about 50 more people came in. Talking about some, yo, what y'all waiting here for? We like, our check. And it was like, you too? This one person was like, I got paid $89. I was like, what? It was like, I can't pay my bills with this. And man, I'm telling you, it was a bad day. So I had to, like, on the way out, I called her and said I won't be able to see you that day. That was early through 2008. That was like
September, because I was in French class.
No, I'm talking about when I worked at the airport. When you was in French class, that one was for when I was working at the homeless shelter. I know.
I don't know. It was sometime.
Yeah, that was.
I remember I was in French class.
It was still winter time. It was snowing when I worked at the airport. That was when I had to work that one night, and it was like it was in the negatives. It was so cold that when you had your hands on the steering wheel, it froze them. Like, it froze my hands to the steering wheel, like, literally. So I was like, nah, I'm cool, man. But that was a good job. It just shut down. They shut down Skybus. I was working for Skybus at that time. But yeah, you know, back on the subject, you know, I told her the night before, I was like, I'm getting my check. So I was like, I'm gonna come see you right when I get my check. So she's like, oh yeah. And then woke up the next day. Man, I was so mad. The rain was coming down hard. So I'm like, what is going on? And I called the people. I was like, you know, is my check in there? And the lady was like, yeah, you come get it. So I went and got my check. So I was like, well, I said I might as well kill some time. So I went to the mall because I had like over $1,000 on that check. I had a lot of money on there. Man, I went to the mall. Bought some clothes. I bought some Fresh Fit, and then I went to my plug and I bought some new J's. It was the 6 rings that came out. You know, I'm like, I ain't on like what everybody else is wearing. I like what I like. I'm like, if the shoe look good to me, I'm gonna get it. That's how I am. So I went and bought the shoe. So I was like, dang, I said it's still early, and I was like, I called her on the phone. I was sitting outside this store. It was a Family Dollar store. I was sitting outside the store and I was like, if the rain slows down, I will be on my way. If not, we might have to cancel. And it was like, God was listening, because right after I got off the phone with her, the rain just stopped. So I was like, all right, cool. I ran inside Family Dollar, bought me some snacks, some drinks, put them in the car, started up, and I was like, hey, I'm on my way. But little did I know, the way I was heading right for the rain. The guy was like, I'm about to take you on a journey, bro. Like, you just don't know. So I'm driving, and what I didn't know was, like, when I was leaving, there was an even bigger storm coming in behind me to knock out the power in Columbus. So I'm like, oh man, I'm like, oh man, this is just crazy. So I'm driving. I'm like, oh man, it's cool. I'm making good time. And then bam, the rain just comes in. It just I'm like, I couldn't see nothing in front of me. Like, the windshield was covered. So I'm sitting there driving. I'm wiping the windshield. Like, yo, I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm like, Lord, if you can get me through this, you know, I'm telling you, I'm like, thank you, Jesus. And I just kept driving, and then I was like, should I turn around and go back? And I was like, nah, man. And then after a while, when I got to Philly, you know, the rain just stopped. It just stopped completely. Like, it was just like, okay, I made it past it. So I was like, thank you. I was like, thank you, Lord, thank you. And I told her, I was like, hey, I'm just outside of Philly. I'm about to hit the expressway. Man, got on the expressway, it was like the Daytona 500. Everybody doing like 100 miles per hour. It was like, so I was like, okay, we get it too. I'm like,
you had directions by paper.
Yeah, I ain't even, y'all, listen, y'all. If I ain't had no GPS, I Googled the directions, wrote them down. I'm just like, okay, looking at it, and I'm like, okay, we moving. So we got to moving, and when I got there, I was like, hey, I'm in your city. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna cruise past your crib and then, you know, come that way. So I cruised past and then went down. So I'm like, dang, which way do I go? Because I was on this street called Main Street, so I ain't know nothing about where she was from. So
Did you call me and I was in school still?
That was earlier, but I'm like now where I'm there. So I was like, I'ma just turn right. Someone was like, just turn right. So I turned right, start going down the street, And I was like, yo, where your job at? I was like, I see a KFC and a Burger King. And I'm like, oh, okay, I see it. So I hung up and I drove, and I seen like where I looked up on a computer where, you know, on, what was that, MSN, where you can see bird's eye view?
Yeah.
Yeah, where you look it up. And I saw the bird's eye view, and I said, that's the spot where you turn around. So I turned around, and I turned in. I was like, okay. I said, there it is. She worked at McDonald's after school. So I pull up, and I'm like, okay. I said, I'm about to see her, man. I'm like, this is crazy. It's about to go down. So I'm just sitting there. I'm like, all right, man, let me get out. So I got out. I go in there, and I see her. And I'm like, oh, snap. Like, that's the mother of my children right there. Like, no,
what was my hair color?
Yeah, man, she had this short. I was mad about that too. I was like, man, what the? I was like, why she cut her hair? I was like, her hair was beautiful, and she dyed it. It looked like she turned Super Saiyan or something.
No, that's because I put 2 bottles of.
Yo, she watched too much Dragon Ball.
Of light brown.
That's
it
what it
sat
was.
in the sun.
She watched Dragon Ball Z. That's what it was.
My
So,
hair came out like looking like I was blonde.
man, listen. When she saw the kid, she was like, she started licking her lips and stuff. And she was like, oh my God. She started slapping on him, like slapping on her friend, like, oh, like there he is.
Did I do that for real?
Nah, I'm just playing with y'all. I'm just playing with y'all. Nah, when she saw me, she was like kind of shy with it, but she was like, oh my God, there he is. And I was like, uh-oh. I was like, she feeling me. So I was like, okay, you know, she like what she sees. So I went inside. I went in there, and then I went up to her, and then she was like, hi, I like your hair. And I was like, you like my hair? I have a do-rag on. And she was like, I'm talking about down here. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. And then she was like, what you gonna order? And you know me, I was like, okay, when I order a lot. So I was like, give me 2 large fries, a large drink, and what, like 2.
I had a double quarter.
Yeah, I had 2 double quarter pounders. Cause I've been driving all day, and all I was doing was eating snacks. So I was like, man, I'm about to eat up. So she go do the stuff, and like the whole time she just kept looking back at me, smiling. I was like, okay, you know. And so I go, like, she give me my food, and I'm checking through the food. I'm like, yo, where my fries at? Oh, this girl she was so stuck on me, she forgot to give me the fries.
And I gave you extra stuff.
Yeah, it did. So she was like, oh, okay. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I got extra stuff. I'm like, cool. So I go sit down. And man, listen, this is for anybody who travels. If you travel by yourself and you go to a city, you know, like when girls see somebody new, they go crazy. When I say these girls went crazy, they went crazy. Because when she went to the bathroom, when she was almost done with her shift, I thought they was going to jump her in the bathroom. Because they kept checking me out. I was like, I'm just sitting here just minding my own business. And then next thing you know, I seen her go to the bathroom. I'm like, okay, she going. Then the girl got up. They all got up. They was like, I'm like, oh shoot. I'm like, man, I might have to run in there and break this up. I was like, I might have to close my eyes because you know you running in the woman's bathroom. I'm gonna be like this. Like, yo, stop. But
funny.
Man, she came out. She was like, man, they asking what was you with me, and I was like, they could have just said that. They just kept looking at me like giggling and you know. So she gets off work, and then.
Well, I lied to my mom that I was getting off the time.
Yeah, she told her parents that she was getting off late
at 12, but I got off at 10.
Yeah, that gave us 2 hours to kill. So, you know, my hotel room was across the street from her job. And man, when I tell you, I had it laid out. I got this room where it had the jacuzzi in there. I mean, it had this big jacuzzi. It had mirrors around it, and man, I felt like it made you feel like a boss when you're in there. You just chilling. You got that. You got the bed. You got the TV. You know, the little table set and all that. Man, I was like, man, it was a beautiful room. It was nice. And you know, we sat there. She was kind of nervous, So I'm like, okay, all that time you was talking on the phone, now what? And then we just got to talking, and you know, things happened. Took about
2 hours.
2 hours, literally 2 hours. And
I changed my clothes.
I ain't
forgot
lying.
I put my uniform back on.
I like y'all young dudes be saying no cap. Like, it literally took 2 hours.
Well, it could have went longer, but
Oh yeah, we could have went longer, but I was like,
hurry up.
You know, we had to hurry up, and I had to get her back to her job so she could get picked up. And you know, now the rest is history. So see us now. We, you know, years later, 3 kids later, you know, we here. So hopefully that's all we got for today. You know, anything else you want to add to the story?
That's all that happened.
Yeah, that's how it went. It would. Listen, if y'all could have been with me, y'all would be like, yo, that was a crazy ride, because I fought a storm when I seen her. Like, I'm telling you, when I called my homeboy, he was like, yo, you lucky you left. He was like, this storm came in. I tried to tell him to come with me, because I would have got him his own room. I told him, I said, yo, you can come with me, man. But he was like,
and then I paid for your hotel room too, to stay
Yeah,
extra.
for the extra day. I was getting ready to go back home. She was like, no, I'm paying for your room. I was like, no, I could have did that. You were like, nah. So she paid for an extra day, and I stayed. But, man, you know, everybody was calling me like, yo, where you at? Where you at? And I was like, yo, I'm out of state. I was in New Jersey. I'm telling you, I was in New Jersey, and when I went back, you know, Columbus, it looked like a ghost town because all the power was shut off from that storm. But yeah, hopefully y'all enjoyed the video. You know, make sure you hit this with a thumbs up. You know, like, you know, subscribe, share to the channel. You know, it's your boy B Mac, a beautiful queen right here.
Got it.
And we out. Peace.